All righty, ladies. Okay, so welcome here. I am so excited you're here. So this first week, we're just trying to get our bearings straight on this group, right? I want to just tell you why I created it first, because I think it's important for us to understand why and what the goal is here. So when we are running a business, we need the funnel, right? We need the offer. That's so important. You need the freebie, you need the lead magnet. That is the number one thing you need. And that's what Business in a Box does. Not only is it a CRM, but I packaged it so you actually have that funnel with the freebie, right? So we need that. Now, here's the thing. You can have an amazing funnel, you can have an amazing everything, but if no one's going into that funnel, right, it's not going to bring you sales. So there's two parts. There's the how do we bring the leads into this amazing funnel, because that's what we have to do. Now, I always said this when so I used to be a trainer, and I created a whole curriculum for trainers. This was before there was a million out there. And I remember people coming onto my training. They became incredible in trainers, and then they didn't understand why they weren't successful. And I was like, you still need to get your clients. You're not going to get clients just because I have clients. I have built that up. The training is part of it, but you need to still get your leads. I can give you all of this, but that's part of it. We need to understand that. Just like a hairdresser, it reminds me of a hairdresser. A hairdresser goes and works at a salon, they still need to get their clientele. If they're a crappy hairdresser, no one's going to go to them. That's not how it works. And so there's two parts to this. And so I'm explaining that because we need to own that. We can have the most, you've got the funnel, you've got the lead magnet, you've got everything, but now it's up to you to push people there. Now, how do we push people there? Social media, which is an amazing opportunity because it's free. We can we're going to work on this a little bit in this course, but we're going to work on contacting influencers and working together with influencers. We can work together as a team. We're going to be doing a lot of that on here when it comes to commenting, really doing it the right way, not just these groups where everybody posts and then go comments, because that actually doesn't help. It needs to be done right away. So we're going to do it a little differently. And then there's also ads, right? We can do ads. I got lots of leads when I did ads. So that's also an option if you've got the money to do that. Um, but you need to have the funnel before you even start doing that. I would even tell people, I mean, I'm not saying you can't post on social media without the whole funnel, but I was not posting regularly or really going into it for the last 6 months because I knew I needed my offer and my funnel put together first. Because if I was going to put that much effort into social media, and I have a pretty big target market, like I have a 20K following, but I wanted there to be something for them to go to. Otherwise, what's the point? They're liking your stuff. I'm not posting to get a lot of likes. I don't care about the likes, and neither should you. That's not why we're posting to get people to follow you that potentially are going to buy whatever it is you're selling. So when we start this, you should notice a decline in followers unless you're just ground zero. You should actually start. So what I'm noticing on mine, I've been doing this for 2 weeks, I think, maybe a little more. I'm noticing a decrease. I'm losing followers, but I'm gaining. I'm losing, but I'm gaining. That's what you want to see. So, and then you want that to slowly start tipping. So it's more gaining and more losing. But what's happening is that's not a negative thing. You're finding your people. You want your people. You don't want to be, because what happens is if we're trying to keep everybody we have there, we lose focus. And instead of looking forward, we're looking back. Does that make sense? I don't want to lose you. I've done this with friends my whole life. I don't want to lose you. It's so much work, but I don't want to lose you because I love you. But I'm in a different phase, but you're holding me back, but I don't care. No, you've got to focus on what's the goal here. This is a business. Your IG is a business. I want you to focus the next few months, really focus on IG, and then, yeah, post it to Facebook or whatever. But I want us to really break this down. And I've taken a few courses and some of them very expensive courses. And I'm taking everything I've learned from there and I'm putting it together in here. I'm moving it into one just so you know where I'm getting these from. I paid a lot of money. So you're getting all that knowledge. It's thousands and thousands of dollars. Courses like this are 8 grand. You guys know that, right? Like it's crazy, but that's what they're charging for them. So I'm not stealing their course, but I am taking from a bunch of different ones and creating my own. So you need to know that. The very, very first thing we did was account optimization. I want you guys to really understand why that's so important. That SEO is everything because that's what Instagram is doing right now. They're checking what the words are. And so, what you guys can do after this call is going to be, I might be talking a lot, but normally we'll be doing more interaction on our Friday calls. But just because it's our first one, I need to explain a lot of things. You need to go onto Instagram and search some of your keywords and see if you come up. If I search funnels, I come up. That's a good sign. What are you promoting and are you coming up when you search it? That's how you kind of look for your SEO and how you should change it. Does that make sense? That's really, really important. And it really is the first step. Um, the next thing we really talked about this week, we didn't even go into stories, did we? I didn't even go into stories yet with you. We're going to do that next week. Sorry, I have a couple training classes that I'm doing, and you guys are a little bit behind some of the other ones I'm doing. Not behind, at a different place. So I want to talk to you a little bit. Okay, so everybody knows where to find everything, right? You go into the events. I'm going to do a different event for each week. So week one has event and it's called week one, right? And that's where everything is. And every day, 5 days of the week, I post a task. I need you to understand this too, because bye, babe. Um, there's so much information out there that is going to sabotage you if you start going shh, shh, shh. I hear people all the time, oh, what about this and what about this and what, like people that are training, and what about this and what. Yeah, that's all important, but if you're not going to focus and take it step by step by step, you're going to be all over the place and you're going to be nowhere. Who's done that? Made a goal or you know what to do but you're just not doing it? I have. Why is that? Right? It's like, you know it, I know a lot of this stuff but I'm just not implementing. That's why. So I'm going to encourage you to not jump ahead. Focus on what I'm asking you to do. I've done teaching, training, courses. You guys have done this for 30 years. If you follow what I'm saying and do it every single day, you will be in a completely different place in 4 months. I promise you, like completely, completely. But if you're going to go, wait, I really need to be focusing on reels. I'm going to go study that all day. And then you get off and you don't do what the next task is. You won't be successful. That I can guarantee. Do you know what? That's one of the things that when I was trained, when I was a personal trainer, I was a personal trainer before it became the cool thing to do and everybody became a personal trainer. And so when I would train people, they would listen to me. It was before the internet. So they would listen solely to what I have to say and they got results every single time. Like I would say 1 out of 100 maybe didn't get results. Then you know what happened? Everybody became a trainer. Everybody had advice. They started going, oh, it's called double mindedness for those Christians. Look there. They look there. They look there. And nobody got results. And I stopped training people, honestly, because I was like, you know what? You're listening to a million voices and you're getting nowhere. And it's not about, well, the only thing, it's about just being double minded. It speaks about that in the Bible all the time. And I feel like that's one of the biggest sabotagers that people have in business. They're all freaking over the place and they have so much information, but they're not actually taking it and doing it step by step by step. So that's my advice to you. And honestly, that's why I have made the rules in this group that I need you to do certain things. Because if you don't, I don't want to pour into you because I've done that too much in my past where I poured into people being all over the place. And then I have an issue, I have a problem, those of you that know me well, that I end up caring more than the person doing it. And so that's mine, I own it. But I'm setting up boundaries for myself in running this and giving you my time. So I just want to be super clear about that. I will give you my time. I will. And I'm going to teach you everything that I am learning and what I know. But what I do, I am asking something in return. I'm asking that you're going to do the tasks that I say. And then also, we'll be doing probably one post a week where we talk about what we're doing. Any questions about that? Any questions so far? Okay. I want to have a little bit of an open discussion here about one of the most important things before we get going. Um, this call, we're going to talk, I can't see the time here, but we're going to talk a little bit more and then we're going to go into our posts. And I just want you to know that this week was the base. Next week, we're going to go over stories. The week after that, we're going to go over reels. So we are going to get there. Yeah, it doesn't mean you can't make reels and do all that. Still you can. But I just want you to know that without this base, it's really pointless to make the reels. You need to know, and that's what we went over, I think it was yesterday or the day before. What is the value? What are you giving? What are you teaching? I actually don't want you to say value. I want you to go, what are you teaching? What are you giving them? Do you know the answer to that question? Who here knows the answer to that question? Naomi, tell me what you are.
Sorry, I couldn't unmute myself. So I'm going to be teaching hydration. So I am working with Enagic. I have the wands with Solex, and those are the two products that I'm going to be serving. But then I'm going to be serving people on cognition. So like my people are people that have like special needs. They have neurodivergence and things like that, stress, memory loss. And so we want to work with like hydration of the brain. So that's my focus.
Awesome. Love it. Okay, who else wants to share? I had a couple people raise their hand. Tell me what are you teaching? Why will people share your content? Why will people save your content? Why will people comment on your content? Those are three key questions you need to ask every single time you post.
I feel like, I mean, yes, mine needs cleaning up, but I feel like what value I have to offer. I feel like I do enjoy mentoring people and coaching, and not that I'm like a head coach at any point yet in this level of business, but I feel like I'm encouraging people. I feel like I encourage you to keep going, but I need to clean that up a lot more so I get more zeroed in, because I use the Magic too, guys. So it's water. I want to show that better in a more clear way, but I feel like what I have to offer is I'm going to mentor and run to the top with you. Like I want to offer the coaching. Does that make sense? Like I feel like with
Yes,
this digital system, because I run with BNB, business in a box, like that is my number one. Like I like throwing business in a box out because this can apply to anything that they are passionate about. So I feel like what I'm showing them is my like hashtag guys is live by design. That's like one of my big ones, because that's one of my names on one of my Instagrams. So live by design, business in a box. So when they hashtag that, I got to see if I even come up, but I hope I do by now. But the point is leveling them up to a higher level, getting them further to that cold market. I feel like that's the value that I'm giving.
So Annie is a cheerleader. She's amazing at motivation, encouragement. That's really great. But now, Annie, we have to go a step further.
Right.
You
Right.
now need
Yeah.
to teach skills step by step. So I want you to think about what can you tell them. Like, so here's an example comes to mind.
Right.
Step by step, 30 minutes every single day. Do this to reach six figures in 6 months. And then you tell them,
Okay.
you do your post, you do your, well, even what
Right.
we're learning here, 10 minutes, go and comment on other people's, make relationships. Make sure you have a funnel. If you don't have a funnel or an offer, there's no point. Start, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like give them actual steps so that they're going, oh, wait, that's what I need to do. And the motivation
Okay.
can be sprinkled in there. I'm not saying that's not in
Right.
there, but that's not your meat.
Right. Right.
Yeah,
Yep.
that's your homework to really think about that.
Okay.
Okay, who else wants to share?
Well, I know you and I have talked about pretty much what mine is about with selling, with Solex, besides going over all the features, but offering as far as making a team and using business as a box to help them be able to grow too. Since, me being new with Solex, I had no clue of what to do. So it's like, I want to help others to be able to come in confidently and know what to do for themselves too.
Yeah, exactly. Giving them tools and talking about how you're making your business successful and why with your heart. Totally. And I know you want to grow it into a big business. So I would categorize it too into bit like I can give you the tools. I know you might have a great heart, but I have also the business tools to help you succeed. This is what I offer. This is what I have. I will take you. We will build a funnel. Look like mine. Check this out. You can offer a free inner voice scan. Tell them what you're doing and why you're successful. Right?
Right.
What I did. I created this funnel and to get a free inner voice scan. That's how I'm being successful. How do you be successful at your business? And Solix is I've said this to many of you, but Solix is such a heart business, which is so great because the people are so incredible that do Solix. But the problem is that they don't often have the business side of it. So if you can get those people that are doing Solix to understand that you can actually run it as a business as well and make money, even though it's a good thing, you're going to get a whole different type of people, right?
Right.
Anybody else want to share? Melinda,
Oh yeah, I had to unmute.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so I'm doing Solex too, and so everything natural healing, energy healing. I do energy healing events and sell Solex products. So it's going to be, everything how to heal naturally and teach about that kind of thing. So as far as the like business in a box and posting like my progress with this six-figure group and how to grow and all that. Like I was thinking about starting a separate Instagram for that because I just don't feel like
Yeah.
having that like how I make money in with the
I
whole
agree.
how to heal.
Agree.
Because not everyone is going to want to build a business out of Solex. But people, I feel like more are going to be coming to me for like how can they heal themselves. They don't want to hear how I'm making money about
Yep.
you know what I mean? How I'm making money off of you, like
Yeah,
healing
no, that's a
yourself.
very, very good point. And this is how I'm going to give you some ideas. This is how I do that. So I have everything like that, but this is so I would start a separate business in a box one, and those I would share to my stories. I would never put it on my feed. So that you're
Okay.
building and you're working together, but you're right. Your feed is natural. That's everything on there is a holistic. It's that you don't want to mix that in there. I completely agree. But then you start that other account and that goes up there. And then I would have it in my funnel so that people know that's available.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be talking about that on my feed. You cannot mix that.
And then maybe a separate funnel for the business in a box stuff, for like all your stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So because you want them to know it's there, but yeah, you can't push it because you're going to push away your holistic people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I even had one guy quit Solex because he found out it was like he's calling it like a multi-level thing, but he called me like, oh, okay, so I just don't feel right about this. So I just don't want it, even have I want it to kind of be like in the background that you can make money doing this.
Yeah. Keep it separate. Keep it separate
Yeah.
actually for what you're doing and your
Okay.
your whole business model. That makes a lot
Okay,
of
thank
sense.
you.
And I'm glad that you have that clarity. That's really good.
Okay. I'm
Okay.
glad you agree on that. Thank you.
Yeah, I totally agree. Yeah. And that's why we have these calls to talk about it and go, how does it look? And guys, when I am talking to one person, you're gonna notice this. I might tell Melinda and Crystal opposite things. It's because you're totally different people. And that is one of my very big giftings is reading people and seeing what's good for them. I'm not saying I'm always right, but I will never give a blank statement almost. I mean, there's some things, but not when it's businessy like this. Everybody's individual and you need to do what works for you, your personality, and what you're doing and your overall big picture, right? That's why it's so important to get clear on that. Okay. So when you're posting and when you're doing any kind of posting, those are the questions I want you to ask. Will someone comment? Will someone share this? Will someone save it? Right? Why? Why will they save it? We're going to go more into reels. We're going to go deep into that yet. But that's just a starting point of what you can do. And next week, like I said, we're going to talk a lot about stories. We're going to dive in. And what we're going to do is we are going to come up with a plan for stories, because stories and questions are what really get the algorithm to like what you're going to be posting. That's really, really important to learn how to do this properly. So I will teach you that next week. We're almost done here. So I just wanted to say, I want to explain how the posting is going to work. Okay. So I will here's the thing. If we're going to do a commenting thing, I'm sure a lot of you have seen things like this before. You go and comment on other people's posts. There's no point in doing it if you're just going to randomly do it. It doesn't change the algorithm. So, or maybe it does slightly, but nothing like the beginning. So we're not doing that. Plus, then people are doing it all day. It becomes tedious, cumbersome. It just doesn't work. So we are going to have a time, and we can play around with this time a little bit. But I was thinking 9:45 to 10 o'clock in the morning, where we put the link to whatever post, reel, whatever that you want comments on. But it has to be done during those 15 minutes every single day if you want comments. And you need to comment in that 15 minutes.
Is there
And-
any way we could do a couple different times, just because I'm on the West Coast, so that's like uber early for me to make sure I'm on everybody's post commenting.
We can,
If not, no worries. You can
let me
I'll work
think about
something.
that, Rochelle. Let me think about that, okay? That's a good point, but let me think about that a bit. For now, we'll just keep it like this because I've already said it and planned it, but I will think about that this weekend. So, because you're 2 hours earlier, right? So it's 8:45 there.
Yeah, right now it's 8:30 here. So I'm 2 hours from you, and then
Okay. Yeah, because and you need to post 5 words or more. If you do not post 5 words or more, please you're not allowed to be on this thread. I'm being very stern right now because I don't want confusion later, because I've done these before and then people will post 1 word. And I'm like, Kate, that's not helpful. That doesn't change the algorithm. If we're going to do things, let's do them right. Let's not just do them, right? Like, I'm very big into that. If we're going to do them, let's do it right. Like, let's not just randomly comment on people's things throughout the day, because it's not really helping. You know what I mean? Like, let's actually do something that works. Okay. So these are the rules. It's going to be a 15-minute window. If your comment is not in there with your link to the post, you do not get commented on if it's not in there by 10 a.m. Central. And so that gives all of us a window. Does that make sense? So we have 15 minutes a day where we go on and do this, because then it becomes something that we can do. I don't want this to take up all day. I don't want this to be stressful. It shouldn't be. It should take less than that. Yeah, and we'll do it Monday through Saturday. Yes, we will not do it Sundays. Or if you want to, you can write it Sundays. It's up to you. It's like, you know what? I'm going to leave it up to you. If you want to do it, you can. If you want to take a day off, that's totally fine. When it comes to stories, I'm going to tell you a little tip. We'll learn this next week, but taking a day off actually increases your views. Isn't that neat? I think that's cool. It's kind of like, because we need that day off. Anyway, so I'll leave it. I'll have a post every single day where you can comment on there, and then I'll probably delete them after, just so it doesn't get messy. And we have the 15 minutes. Does anyone have questions about that? Okay, and I don't want you to overthink it. And guess what? This is what I love to tell people. If you have a hard time encouraging someone, this is a really great exercise, because we should be able to write 5 kind words to someone every single day. It's not bad. It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad exercise, right? We don't need to overthink it. It doesn't have to all be deep. It can just be like, wow, I can't believe you did that. Wow, this is amazing. Like, it doesn't, wow, this is amazing. Oh, wow. Oh yeah, it's 4. See, wrong. Anyway, does anyone have anything to add to this part of it?
I just wanted to say 2 things. I've been in a few of these groups with other businesses, and I just want to make sure, like, one pro tip is like to go comment on the ones that are in that thread first before you drop your link, because oftentimes people will drop their link and then they'll get a phone call and then they'll forget to go back. So you want to make sure that we're doing it for everybody. Like you're not just dropping yours and leaving everybody in the wind. And then the second thing too is that try to make sure you're looking to see what other comments are there. So it's not all, oh, this is an amazing offer. Thank you for this, right? Because then people know that this is what's happening, that these aren't real engaging people from your own demographic, right? So you want to ask questions. Oh, wow, that sounds interesting. Can I do that in Germany too? Like those kinds of questions so that it sounds more authentic what we're doing and the algorithm is picking up on those keywords. So it's going to be moving us and boosting us in the algorithm better.
I love those tips. Thanks, Naomi. And I want to add something too. I wouldn't even do this if we were all doing the same business. I wouldn't, because it just looks so fake. And so that's something that I feel works here because we're doing tons of different businesses. There is like 5 different businesses in this group. And you don't get that very often, right? So that is one of the things that we really have as an advantage. Okay, so it's 10:30 now. Oh my goodness. Okay, we finished early. Is there anything anybody wants to talk about? Anything about strategy? Anything like that? I'm just gonna open the floor. I'm
No, I
very
was
open.
gonna ask about the posting and the comments and all that. Are you gonna show us how you do that?
We are gonna go into that. So this week we already did the base. Next week is going to be the stories. Week after that is going to be reels, and then we're gonna go. So we're gonna break it down. Those are big babies. I want to really teach you how to do it properly. I'm actually gonna do a whole session on actually teaching you how to edit and tape things. Like I have a lot planned. It's gonna be really good. We're really gonna up your content. I want to help you guys with that. When in regards to how to, let me share my screen. I think I didn't answer your question properly, but now I think I'm knowing what you're saying. So let me share my screen. And I'm going to show you exactly what it's going to look like. So you're going to go into the events. I think we'll do it in the event so it doesn't get lost. We'll go to the week that we're in. I haven't done it yet. Here we go, right? I'm into my week 1. Sorry, guys, my internet's really been slow lately. Will it let me in? Here we go. Okay, and then I'm going to make a pretty Canva, and it will be very, very direct. And it will have the date on there. And then underneath there, you will put your link. So I will go to Instagram. I'll do copy link. And then I'll paste it underneath here. Does that make sense? And then so you don't have to, I don't want you going to look at other accounts, go follow all this. Like, we do not want to do that. You do not need to go and search. That's a waste of time because we want to work smarter, right? Does that make sense, Crystal?
Yeah. Do we post it on our Instagram first and then copy that link to share it there?
Because you won't have the link. So you will need it. And so whatever it is that you want people to comment on, that's up to you. Wherever that is, you can do it wherever you want. I'd suggest doing it on Instagram. I'm just going to do it now because commenting for Friday. Does anyone know the date? I have no idea what the date is. Sorry, the 5th. Okay, April 5th. Okay, just so we don't get that mixed up. I'll make a pretty graphic yet, but now at least it's there in case someone does it right out. We'll wait 15 minutes because we're going to do it at 10:45. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay, and then it'll be in the week so that it's organized. We don't have to look through that whole feed. We don't want that. We want things organized so they're all in the same place. So we're not busy looking for things. Yeah, and then you just go comment on everybody's. It shouldn't take long. Like it really shouldn't. It should take less than the 15 minutes. I'm thinking it's going to take 10 minutes. Not even. And then this weekend, I would love for you guys to really start thinking about stories. So I'll give you a little teaser for next week. We've got a minute here. Stories, guys, you want to do stories. You want to keep them 2 to 3 at a time, and you want them to kind of lead on from each other. So you maybe want one post, one of you talking, one of the AO scan. That's what I did this week. I showed it, I talked, and then I had a picture. You want to keep it interesting. You want to keep them short. If someone watches your stories and clicks off, it hurts your algorithm. So you actually don't want to do too many. So think a little bit about what you're going to be sharing in your stories. Remember, people do like to see the day-to-day actions, but all of you are at a place, except me, all of you, so don't look totally at me. You're all at a place. No one's over 5K followers, is there on here? Is anyone over 5K? Okay, then all of you are at a place where you need to add value. You're not big enough that people actually care too much about your personal life. That's just the truth. So I want you to know that where you're at, that's very important. That's a big mistake people make. They're following big accounts and they're copying those. You need to do what's right for you with where you're at. So value, value, value. You want people to follow you that want to follow you because, like Melinda, to follow you for those health tips. That's who you're trying to get to. Then once they start trusting you, then they're going to want to know in your life what's going on. More. You could show your events, that behind the scenes, show that, girl. That's exciting. That's fun. Whatever you can. Stuff like that. Okay, sorry, we have less than a minute. Any questions? Anyone?